I'm Scott, and this is episode 23 of What Makes This Map Great. This is the series where we take a deep dive into some classic games that hold a special place in my gaming heart. We're going to explore their amazing level design, beautiful art, creative combat encounters, as well as uncover their secrets and see just how much they've influenced the gaming world. And in this episode, we're covering Quake E4M4, the Palace of Hate. All sources used for this video will be linked down in the description below. We are so close to reaching my 500 sub goal before the end of March, so we still got some time, but I would love it. If you're enjoying this content, please support my content by liking, subbing, doing all the YouTube stuff. With that said, let's get into it. The Palace of Hate is the fourth map of episode 4, the Netherworld for Quake. And this palace full of hate is brought to us by the charming father of eldritch horror, Sandy Petersen. Like its name implies, you'll be navigating a large palace. It's split into two levels, lower consisting of larger hallways, while the narrower corridors are upstairs. There's also a central region that features a large cavernous space with a large feature of water. You'll need the silver key to exit this map, and this map doesn't make it easy to leave. There are lots of overlapping areas. You're more likely to get lost, especially as a first-time player. Also exclusive to this map is a guillotine trap, as well as a healing pool, which is actually really useful because the monster roster is nasty. You can expect to encounter rotfish, knights, scrags, death knights, fiends, and a shambler. Fortunately for us, there are no spawns in this map, so praise Chubby. There are also 5 secrets in total, which we'll make sure to discover because they hold some really helpful pickups. To give some context for this point of the player experience in Quake, it all started at the Slipgate Complex, a military base that is home to a machine capable of dimensional travel known as the Slipgate. An evil entity codenamed Quake sends its own forces through from the other side, defeating and turning all soldiers into mindless grunts. Ranger, the lone marine played by you, fights their way through with a mission to defeat this evil force and put an end to Quake. You step through the Slipgate and enter the dimension of the Doom, a realm that is home to old haunted castles and dark underground caverns with monsters beyond our understanding. After conquering every obstacle, Ranger defeats Cthon, the realm's guardian, and obtains the Rune of Earth Magic. He discovers that a rune of magical power awaits him at the conclusion of each of Quake's haunted lands. Ranger then proceeds to the realm of black magic, where his fight continues through decaying castles, dark crypts, and ominous mansions. Nothing can stop him. He destroys the Vor sisters and acquires the Rune of Black Magic. The rune whispers dark thoughts into your brain and reveals that the Hellmother Shacknews is behind all of this. You also learn that once armed with all 4 runes, the gate to Shacknews' pit will open, and you can face the witch goddess herself in her frightful Otherworld cathedral. Ranger continues his mission, travels through the next slipgate in search of the 3rd rune in the Netherworld, a dark and barren place full of vaults and tombs, primal fear in a strange dimension. Surviving horrors of the Chambers of Torment, you grasp the Rune of Hell Magic. Its terrible secrets blight your mind. Gathering the shreds of your courage, you become ever more determined to destroy the hideous creatures whose mere existence threatens the souls and psyches of all the population of Earth. With one more rune left to collect, Ranger continues on through the 4th and final slipgate into the Netherworld, where your worst nightmares come true. Arcane and abstraction combined, with eldritch horrors threatening Ranger's sanity. This is where our journey takes place. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right in. We arrive at the Palace of Hate. The mood is dark and full of dread. What is becoming a regular pattern for episode 4, Sandy provides us a mega health right at the start of the map, a sign of things to come. This palace is made of sturdy brick and plaster, and while it feels old, it's actually well kept. The way forward is lit by flanking fires in small alcoves, with a dark long hallway leading forward. This view sort of resembles a dark skull with fires for eyes. And the fiend can be seen patrolling ahead. Let's take it out. Proceeding through this cramped corridor, we enter the proper palace. This space is massive, with large giant hallways filled with support pillars. Quite a contrasting feeling coming from the entry hall. The entire room forms a circle around this main structure in the middle, offering multiple entryways for your approach. There's even a peek at an upper floor here, enticing you with this box of shotgun shells. You might even catch a Death Knight patrol by here. I'll say at this early point, this level has a prescribed path, but you really have a bit of freedom to tackle it in multiple ways. So, I'll do my best to guide this analysis as best as possible. These lower stairs look foreboding. Great use of light behind the stairs to keep things in shadow. But I'm more interested in this red stained glass window. There's an open archway entrance across from it. First, let's make a run to clear this space. Scrag full of nails. These knights are facing the wall. Let's take them out. I do wonder why these knights are facing away. Maybe they've completely lost their minds in this dark place and just blankly stare at the wall most of their days. Now, our first secret is here. We should be remembering that red stained glass windows and daggers are symbolic in episode 4. You'd be mistaken to shoot the red glass. It does nothing. But shoot the dagger relief above the archway, and you found a secret. The glass wall lowers, revealing a fiend guarding nail ammo and a pentagram of protection. Watch those leap attacks. Oh, bugger. Still got me. One more moment to admire this large hall. Its massive pillars truly make it feel like a palace. Let's break down the next section before grabbing the pentagram. The archway frames a point of interest. Straight ahead is a grenade launcher, but there's also a small pool of water. It's guarded by 2 knights, waiting to ambush you. The pool emanates a glowing light with steps inviting you in. The triangle-shaped wall decor also subtly points down to the pool. Step in, and you found a healing pool, which actually counts as a secret for this map. I love this feature. It's really the only healing pool throughout all of the base Quake campaign maps. And while it's just a bunch of health pickups underneath, it's a creative design, in my opinion. Something else worth pointing are a couple of texturing mistakes. This triangle feature on the wall has some warping textures, and the archway entrance has misaligned textures underneath it. Minor bugs, not game-breaking by any means. Except for my immersion. Better refund this on Steam. I'm joking. Anyways, continuing through here, you'll encounter quite a few more knights waiting to ambush. 2 behind the wall here. And in this room, a giant wooden stairway leads up into a dark hall. Love how this hallway is framed. Not just with the light fixtures on both sides, but also with the use of lighting and shadow. The light fixture at the end of the hall beckons you to come through as 2 fiends patrol up ahead and are silhouetted by the light. Also, another duo of knights are hidden in the shadows here. Very sneaky enemy placement. The Elder texture set with its brick walls and trim look great in this low light setting. And these light fixture textures have a greenish yellow hue to them, a color that feels sickening in these dark halls. Pressing through, an elevator is spotted to the right in this dark hall. We'll get to that later. Another wooden staircase leads down 2 ways, a dead end with shells and health, and then another bend down the other side with bright lighting. Again, love the use of lighting underneath the staircase. It casts these cool strips of shadow on the nearby walls. Notice that red armor? We'll get that a little later as well. Heading towards the light, we have a couple of adjoining rooms with another patrolling fiend. Notice how large these spaces are. Complements the fiend's leaping attack, giving plenty of space for it to jump and for you to dodge. I gotta say, Sandy's odd way of connecting spaces and structure really fits well into the Elder World. It just makes this place seem strange and otherworldly. Let's play it out. Grab the Penta and dive into the healing pool. Take out these knights. Use these corners to nade the knights behind the wall. Let's leave a few nades for these knights. Fiends. Toss nades and keep distance with them. Press forward. Let's dance with this final fiend. Well, he won't be the last, that's for sure. This is what I like to call the lower chamber of the palace, featuring a large water basin. High ceiling throughout, and oddly well lit compared to the rest of this place. Maybe this is the bathing chamber for a large elder beast. On one side, it's fairly open with an unusual staircase leading up. It holds a ring of shadows, a hint of overlapping and looping gameplay spaces. To the other side of the water feature, off in the distance, we can see a silver key and another pentagram of protection, but no clear way to get there. The moving wooden platform over the water seems to hint at something, though. This second one to the right is immobile. There should be a switch that will activate it and give us access to the silver key. And yes, this is why I like to come this way. A super nail gun waits for us across the way. Of course, it doesn't come for free. The scrags in this area will be a threat. And the water also hides a large school of rot fish, with some pickups which will come in handy. And picking up the nail gun will reveal a surprise. Let's do this. Take out this scrag. Go for a swim. Nades do quick work. Shoddy or nail the rest of the rot fish. Climb up this extended bridge, leap across to finish this final scrag. Rockets. We'll need this ammo. Let's get the nail gun. And surprise, a fiend. And he leaps into the water. Now we got some nail ammo and a mega health. Let's grab them, take out the fiend, and backtrack to the elevator. Okay, our next secret is here. Activate the elevator, backstep off immediately. Go underneath the lift. Watch out for this knight. You found a secret. The red armor is ours. This button will open a way out. Now, let's return to the elevator and break down our next encounters. Similar to the main hall with the pillars, this upper floor forms a giant loop. Death Knights and fiends lurk about in the shadows, which they'll create intense combat challenges. Sandy does a great job creating just enough space to dance around with these enemies here. A couple of large windows also provide a view of the lower main space. Just a neat way to see how far you've come in your progression. The slanted ceiling with these wooden supports is a nice detail touch. And I love the lighting techniques used, creating pools of light and shadow that makes this space feel ominous, creating opportunities for enemies to dip in and out of shadow, let alone hide in them. Now, there are two paths from here we can take, and they are very similar, but the way I differentiate them, one has a bluish stone brick wall at the end, and the other has a reddish orange plaster wall at the end. We're going to take the bluish stone path. From the lift, go right, and then take the first right walkway that comes up. A fiend guards the bridge, and down below are other dangerous enemies. Such a cool tall hallway, with its wooden framing and light chandeliers. We'll eventually get to that lower space. Continuing across the bridge, another fiend will ambush you to the left. This long hall nails the liminal space vibe. Wooden framing holds the brickstone walls up, with fire torches lighting the way down, again creating alternating pools of light and shadow. There will be plenty of fiends along the way, and ammo at this point will feel sparse after all these combat encounters, so it's important to make your shots count. And my other favorite feature of this map, we have a guillotine at the end of this hallway. A grenade launcher awaits on the opposite end, but you can be sure this is a trap. Move too quickly, the guillotine will drop down on you. But activating the guillotine will also spawn in a fiend on the other side, as well as a second one back down the hallway. Creates a tricky encounter that can lead to death by fiend or by guillotine. Okay, enough talking. Lock and load. Death Knights have so much health. Try a nade or two in between your shots. Oh, the fiend dropped to the lower floor. This fight is getting dangerous. I think I'm getting the hang of dancing with fiends. before we cross the guillotine, we actually have a secret nearby. Backtrack to this dead end with the nail ammo. Notice the walls look different. Grab the nails, walls lower. Deal with these knights. You can hear a wall opening behind them. Just hang out here until the wall's lower again. Go behind the left wall. It's a lift. You found a secret, a quad damage, and a teleporter. Now, this quad is important. If we time it right, we'll be able to take down a shambler right at the very end of its run, since we'll need to move quickly, and this essentially leads us through the last stretch of the map. Let's walk through the upcoming areas first. After we grab the quad, we'll jump through the teleporter. Its destination takes us to the other side of the guillotine. You can even see the teleport platform here below. And now we are at the floating steps in the large water room, with the ring of shadows within our grasp, as well as a floor button. Pressing the button, we hear the sound of lights turn on, and even see it happen in real time at the end of the room. The bridge is now activated. We can grab the silver key, with a well-timed jump across the gap. Now, this is a remarkable setup, provided to us by Sandy. Besides the silver key and the pentagram of protection, we have a teleporter that is just out of reach. A jump can't even get you into the teleporter. But an unusual hole is placed just underneath it. A clue. Sandy wants you to try a grenade jump. And this is a perfect setup to practice it with the notch in the floor and the pentagram. Successfully, you'll appear on an upper ledge that is real close to the exit. Another ring of shadows as well. So, you have protection from the pentagram, invisibility from the ring of shadows, and hopefully some quad left at this point, because you'll need them. Dropping down from here, a shambler patrols this lower hall, guarding the way to the exit, which is just behind us, as well as 2 death knights protecting the silver key door. This could be the end of the map right here, but we need to try and kill all the enemies. Going through the other side of the shambler hallway, we have that entire lower balcony region that we missed when crossing over via a bridge earlier. And this wonderful mix of fiends, scrags, and death knights are all waiting for this moment to try and destroy you. Again, love the structural build of these halls. The wooden framing with chandeliers above, as well as the plaster walls and trim, just look amazing. Really fulfills the visuals of a palace. And lastly, we'll be diving down this set of stairs, which we actually had access to from the start of the map in the main pillar halls. In my opinion, it would have been a tough fight taking this route without the super nail gun from the start. Be careful though. These walls lower, revealing 2 fiends which will do their best to tear you up. And really, that's it. We retrace our steps back here to get all the monster kills, so from here we return to the silver key door. Final place. Let's make them count and turn this place into a palace of death. you may need to retread some prior areas to get some final kills. On normal difficulty, you'll want to get 59 out of 68. More on that later in the trivia. The exit archway in this map, like the prior map, is guarded behind lock and key. It's old 90s first-person shooter gameplay mechanics, but my imagination likes to think that the Palace of Hate is also keeping this next region safe from intruders. Bones and viscera hold this archway up. Reliefs of eldritch symbols and a demon's head bid Ranger farewell. Gates open. We step into the darkness. Score screen here, giving us a glimpse of that floating staircase overlooking the large water basin. Simple, yet its vastness was something truly to behold back in the day. Continuing through, we find ourselves in Hell's Atrium. Another fun and creative map by Sandy. One that also hides the exit to the secret level of episode 4. We'll make sure to cover it in a future episode. So here's the part where I go over some quick trivia regarding our featured map. The player can perform a grenade jump in the water basin room, essentially skipping having to navigate the palace in order to hit the button so you can access the silver key. This could lead to a major skip, so long as you can survive the damage that you take and obviously clear the jump across the water. As you can see, I struggled with this one, but if you're dedicated, you can make it. This map features a one-of-a-kind healing pool. It's the only healing pool in all of Quake, the base game of Quake at least. And yet, I know it's just like a water pool and there's health pickups in it, but still, it's such a neat creative feature, and I wish there was more of that kind of design in the rest of Quake. In the N64 version of Quake, since you can get to the Nameless City from the prior map, which by the way, the Nameless City is the secret level of episode 4, that level also hosts the Thunderbolt. Giving the player access to the Thunderbolt this early on in episode 4 is quite the advantage to have in the Palace of Hate. It's extremely useful against all the fiends and the Shambler at the end, and if you're playing on hard mode, there's like 5 Shamblers in this level. You may have noticed that after killing all the enemies in the Palace of Hate and exiting the map, you come short on the score screen. That's due to a glitch, which I've talked about in prior episodes, but it's a glitch related to the rotfish. Each one counts as 2 monsters in the total count, but when you kill them, it only counts as 1. So your final tally count should be 59 out of 68 on normal mode, which has 9 rotfish, or 18 with the bug accounted for. I hope that makes sense. So, what makes E4M4, the Palace of Hate, a great map? Sandy Petersen totally nailed the mood. The map uses sturdy brick and plaster that enforces the palace feel throughout. He creates a dark, dreadful feeling, mixing big hallways with tight corridors and clever lighting. The lighting on that note is wonderful and creative, such as the light peeking out from behind stairs and using those sickly greenish yellow glowing light fixtures. Additionally, it looks like something big lives here. It's otherworldly and perfectly fits the Elder World theme. The monster lineup is challenging and mean at times. The enemy placement is sneaky, putting them in dark shadows and corners for jump scares. First-time players are going to be sweating with how many ambushes there are. The open areas are also perfect for fiends to show off their leaping attacks, making the fights really dynamic. And even though there is a main path, the map lets players figure things out their own way to handle all of these challenges. This really could lead to getting lost, but there are useful ways to create landmarks, like halls using specific colored textures, or features like the healing pool. Speaking of which, there are some wonderfully creative designs in this map that enhance the gameplay. Like I said before, it features a unique healing pool, which is also a secret. The guillotine trap is tricky. Not only does it drop and do massive damage, but it also spawns in 2 fiends, one in front and one way back down the hall, which catches you off guard. It's double trouble. And the teleport by the silver key is designed to encourage high skill movement. It's the perfect grenade jump setup, providing a pentagram of protection to negate damage, as well as a small hole in the ground to help line up a grenade. Back in '96, unless if you were scouring the forums, most of us didn't really know about some of this movement tech, so we discovered it ourselves, and this was one of the most joyful discoveries in the game. And it rewards that movement skill with the Ring of Shadows right before the final fight, and hopefully your quad and penta are still running at this point. The gameplay loops and overlaps. You've got the upper and lower floors, and the map hands out key items like the super nail gun, as well as plenty of power-ups. They are exactly what you need to keep up with the escalating threats. It all builds up to a super intense final battle against a Shambler and 2 Death Knights, let alone like all of the fiends and Death Knights on the way to the exit. Sandy Petersen nails it with the Palace of Hate. It's got that dark, killer, oppressive vibe, intense yet fun combat encounters, and the open design makes it feel like pure classic Quake. A truly dark and wonderful map that perfectly visualizes a palace in the Elder World. What are your thoughts on E4M4, the Palace of Hate? How'd you handle the 5 Shamblers on hard mode difficulty? And did the guillotine trap ever catch you off guard? Share your stories down below in the comment section. I'd love to read them. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great gaming content. And if you're looking for more, check out this recommended video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.